Hello and welcome to episode 143 of the Bootnerds podcast. JayMike, what's up?
It's summer. I'm not complaining. Lots of new stuff still coming out. Lots of new shirts. We're talking about that today. But otherwise, all is good. How about Canada?
Like I was mentioning to you, I feel like it's way too hot for Canada, but it's good otherwise. I'm sweating like crazy every day, all day long, but that's life. You know what? Better than cold.
Yeah. I feel like Canada just weather-wise, the land of extremes. Either it's ridiculously hot, which is not supposed to be, or it's just like mind-blowingly cold.
It is. And apparently they're predicting a really cold winter, so we'll see what happens. Can't wait.
Count me surprised. But now that's good. Like I said, today we're talking shirts. It's that time of the year. We do it every year. We rate and slate the newest shirts from most of the big clubs in Europe. Obviously, we can't do every club in every league. That would take forever. And people probably aren't bothered about, there are some teams out there that just have the same shirts again and again and again. I was looking at AS Monaco prepping for this, and I was like, are we going to talk about it? No. That's the same as last year. Villarreal, same as last year. But hey, shirts are always good. Couple of really good ones. Do you have like a favorite before we just, like off the top of your head, before we go into it?
You know what? The more and more I see it, mainly because they're just always in the news, is I really like the new United home shirt.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it?
It's grown on me. I really like it. I think I might have said it in a previous episode, or maybe it was a conversation with you. I didn't like the new Barca home kit when it was first unveiled. But now that I've seen it a couple times on the pitch, I quite like it.
It's not bad. It's not bad. Yeah. But we'll get to that because we are going to start alphabetically. But before we do that, before we start rating any shirts, remember that if you have any questions you'd like us to answer in the end of each episode, you can leave them in the comment section right down below. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And if you've enjoyed your time here, like the video as well. It's going to help us out a lot. So appreciate that. But Josh, let's start with Arsenal, who also have a new shirt with a collar. A little bit of a button-down detail there. Very nice. How would you rate this?
I mean, it's classic Arsenal. I still don't love the stripes on the shoulders.
Okay.
Or on the upper trap area. It's something about it. I don't know. I guess I grew up in the Nike days of Arsenal, so I'm just used to that just being more plain up there. So that's still kind of like, it's a weird thing to my eye, but I really like the detail on the collar. And the collar in general, I think, just looks super clean. It's a nice shirt.
It's a nice shirt. And for me, it reminds me a little bit of those, those days back with the Nike shirts in 97, 98, I think, where they had that, the Dreamcast shirt, where they had those two stripes on the shoulder. Reminds me a little bit of that, wide sleeves as well. I think it's a great looking shirt. I'd give this an 8 out of 10.
I'm with you on that. I think that's an 8 out of 10. That's as unique you can make an Arsenal home shirt without ruining the core look.
And it's a red and white. There's not that much going on, but that's also to me what makes it good looking. They also have their away shirt, which is this relatively toned down, I would say, black shirt with bronze accents. And I don't know if it's a reference to them never ever winning anything. So bronze is like what they... Wow, that was a cheap shot being a Man United supporter. But hey, that is going to backfire tremendously. But I like how they have these little, whatever that is. It's not even 3D. It's just like this, optical illusion AFC. In there, and that the logo is once again just the cannon. Really, really enjoy that.
Yeah, I like the combo of the black and bronze.
Yeah.
However, the pattern is not it, as they say these days. I just don't. It reminds me of like some kind of like watermark you find when searching up something on Google. It looks cheap to me. I hate it. I don't like the pattern. I don't like the pattern at all.
Wow. Okay.
I think this is a shirt that looks great from a distance.
Because it's just black.
Because you wouldn't see the pattern at all.
Right.
For me, this is It's a 5 out of 10. I hate the pattern.
Wow. Okay. I don't think I'm that mad at it, to be honest. Sure, I've seen better tone patterns on shirts, but I don't think it's that bad. And it reminds me about what you would see in a trippy Linkin Park music video in like the late 90s or something. But still, it has a retro vibe to it that I actually like. So 7 out of 10. It's not genius, but it's not. I don't think it's bad either.
I feel like we say this in a lot of the shirt podcasts we've done, but it just screams training top.
See, that's a good point. And I actually think a lot of training tops would make for brilliant, at least third shirts. They'll make some cool training tops. Yeah. Anyways, then there is the third shirt, which is definitely probably the most controversial of the Arsenal shirts this year. It's pink. And I quite like it. I'm not sure what's going on with that. There's probably a story to it. And if I was a proper shirt nerd, I would probably know it. The light blue trim on the collar. Don't know what's going on. Don't like it. But the rest of the shirt, I think it's cool.
Yeah, I agree. The light blue trim is not good. However, I really like that shade of pink. If you're gonna have a pink shirt, that to me is the pink you go for. I like the tone Arsenal badge. That looks really cool. And the pattern and shade of pink reminds me of like the curtains you would see at like a fancy hotel that's been around for like 150 years.
True.
That you're afraid to touch because you don't want to stain it and have to pay for them.
It's definitely better than like the bus seat pattern that was on a United shirt a couple of years back.
Yeah, I actually kind of like this one. I'm gonna give it a 7.
I like this more than the away shirt. I'm gonna give it I think this is really cool actually. So I would give it an 8.5. It wasn't for that blue trim, which to me 7.5. 7.
Okay.
Nah. Let's give it an 8. I actually think it's worth an 8.
Okay.
I think it's cool. So Chelsea home shirt. It's a blue shirt. Like what? Okay, it has a cool color. There's the actual lion in there from the logo, which is, I guess that's a nice touch. Again, light blue trim. Don't know what's up with that in the London, but I think it's cool, and there will be haters out there of the 3 logo. I actually think it's like just having that on the chest makes the shirt look relatively clean. The little light blue trim around the swoosh, I like that. It's not bad. It's not mind-blowingly awesome either, I think, but it does the job, and it's a cool, classy home shirt. 8 out of 10. 7.5 is kind of boring. Jay, come on.
7.5 I think is high. I don't like the 3 sponsor logo, but it was always going to be difficult to replace. Yeah. Samsung I see a Chelsea shirt and I'm like, why doesn't it say Samsung? Samsung was such a good logo.
It was. Or you remember the Auto Glass from back in the day. That was beautiful, beautiful. It would be fun if teams brought back the old sponsors, just United and Sharp. That was class.
Yeah, those are cool. Even the AIG ones were really cool.
AIGs were pretty good. Well, how do you rate it? Chelsea home.
I don't like the collar, and I think it's a lazy attempt to tie in that color by doing the outline on the Nike swoosh. But it's a blue shirt. There's not too much to be offended at. It's a 6 out of 10, middle of the road.
Wow, someone's in a mood today. All the shirts are just not to your taste. Nope. Everton, now I'm looking forward to this one. Because it's also a blue shirt. I think it's quite smart actually. Obviously you can't see the Hummel chevrons on the sleeve, but it also has this little white blocking underneath the armpit. I don't like the look of the sponsor. I think it looks a little bit, Comic Sans. It's just not doesn't sit well with me. But the rest of the shirt, cool enough. 7.5.
I like it. I think you're biased because it's a Danish brand. I like the Hummel logo on the shoulders. Really cool. But unfortunately, the embossed pattern across the front really reminds me of like you're a child and you're just playing for your first competitive team and you're kind of wearing slightly nicer shirts. I feel like you had something that looked exactly like this with that same pattern at some point.
Bro, it's 90s.
I know, it's nice. It's really nice. I like it. But it can't be more than like a 6.5 out of 10.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I think that whole tone and tone makes it nice, and it gives this retro vibe. Back to when every shirt was kind of like, as you say, glossy and had this really tacky looking tone and tone pattern to it. I like that.
Sure.
Moving on to something you initially didn't like, but now do like. It's miles better than that. What was it called?
Wait, are we talking about? You didn't mention. Are we talking about the Barca home kit?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, I got it.
Okay,
good. Say that.
Sorry about that. So we're sat here on our screens, flipping through the same photos. So I hope we were flipping, at the same speed. FC Barcelona home shirt, which is to me infinitely better than what they had back when the what was it called? The one with Sporticus and all that. There was this show last time 2 seasons ago. We talked about Barcelona. And they had this gold and obviously Blaugrana
Oh,
shirt.
yes. Crap. What's it called?
Lazy Town.
Lazy Town. That's the one. Yeah. It really looked like that.
Yeah. This I really like it. That navy, almost black shoulder part. Really cool. Not sure I really know what's going on with the stripes, but the added like really navy stripe in the middle there. I think it's cool. Like really light gold trim as well on the sponsor and stuff. It's a good looking shirt.
Yeah, initially what really I didn't like about it was the 3 colors for the stripes. I thought it was just too much. And honestly, I still look at this shirt now and think, wow, I don't really like that very much. But then when you see it as a full kit with the navy shorts, it looks cool.
It does.
Even the pattern within the stripes is not something that I typically like. But it looks good when it all comes together. And Spotify is admittedly a very good looking sponsor, which I think helps the whole thing along. It's cool. It's hard to reinvent the Barca home shirt and make it look good. I think they've done that successfully. It's a 9 out of 10.
I would agree. I do think this is a 9 out of 10. I think they've done a really good job. And like you say, it's hard reinventing the Barca home shirt. They've tried to do it a couple of times with various levels of success. And I think this is one of those that captures that Barca DNA, right? And still manages to do something new and look good while doing it. I think that's pretty good. There should have been. Now we can flip down to what I named FC Barcelona away instead because I'm an idiot. Instead of just Barcelona. So if we flip down to that, and you will see what I think is one of the most detailed shirts that are out this year. And I don't know if you can tell what that pattern is just by looking at the shirt. If you can't, I'll tell you.
I'm going to guess it is some kind of a top-down view of Barcelona.
That's exactly what it is. Which is knitted into the material itself. Is that cool or what?
It looks. I know I just complained about little patterns that are kind of like almost look like they're embossed.
But you can't complain about this. Then we
this is done in
thing.
such a way that's so technically impressive. Like it just. I look at this shirt and think, wow, that's expensive.
Yep.
And to me, that's cool. That's part of when you include detail, it can't look cheap. And this does not look cheap.
It doesn't look cheap. And especially when you have it in hand, it's very intricate, the little detail, the detailing on it. I think it's very good looking also because that the warm shade of gold there is just right, and navy and gold always looks good. Not sure about the cuffs on the sleeve, what that's all about. Again, with the light blue trim, why?
I kind of like it though. I kind of like it.
Yeah,
I kind of like it. This really reminds me of like, I don't know what year. I'm so bad at remembering years for shirts, but I remember as a kid when Juve had those gold jerseys.
Oh yeah, that's a while.
That's what this kind of reminds me of. Yeah,
I think
in terms of the color they've used. I really like this.
Yeah, same.
It's
for me,
super cool.
It's one of the standout shirts of the season, to be honest. I would give it a 9.5 out of 10. If not a
I'll go 9.5 because I think it's not quite 10. 9.5.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
We move back to Athletic Bilbao, or basically Athletic Club Bilbao. You're not supposed to say Bilbao if I'm being 100% honest. They're very particular about that. But hey, it's one of those shirts that I mean, I'd probably have to look it up to spot the differences from last year's shirt. Just off the top of my head, I couldn't tell you what's different. But I mean,
it's a nice shirt. I think as far as stripes go, I like it.
Yeah,
but it's unexceptional. It's a 6.5.
Okay, I would say a 7 because it's nice to look at, but also it doesn't blow my mind. So a 7. What does blow my mind is the Atletico Madrid home, which is just wild. Like I can't make up my mind, and that's a problem because I'll have to in a second. Can't make up my mind whether I like it or really, really dislike it. It's like cool. Someone went on Photoshop with like a standard Atletico Madrid shirt and just chose the liquefy tool and just like the smudge tool basically and just like and pull the stripes all over. It's
okay. So hear me out here. I like it. However, my first impression is it kind of reminds me of like a circus tent. Is that weird to say? But I like the fact that it has motion.
Yeah,
like, that's cool. Like, what shorts do they wear with this? Navy?
Yeah, that's a great
probably.
Let me.
I think it's cool. I think this is a shirt that is gonna look cool.
It does. I think it looks really cool in action. They wear their standard royal blue shorts with them.
Yeah.
It looks Atletico-ish on the pitch, but me personally, I think if I have to, and I have to make a decision, and I think it's so special, but still does the job, so I like it. Especially when I see it on the pitch, it has a certain way of life to it that I'm really into. And still it looks just quintessentially Atletico. And that's good to me. Cool. What do we give that then? Well, it's bold, it's brave, it works. I will say, is it better than the Barca home? It's as good. 9 out of 10. This is the Inter shirt of this year, where they play with the stripes and it works.
Okay, you're right. I was gonna say 8.5, but then you compare it to the Barca shirt, and I really like that. Yeah, 9.
Yeah.
9.
Cool. We flip to the away shirt, which is kind of, it feels like they spent all their bravery points on the home shirt and just were like, yo, we got to give the fans something chill. So they chilled hard and they went with this, it almost looks like a polo, whatever, a pre-match shirt. And
it's
yet
really
nice. It is alluring, right? It's so
That's
simple
true.
that it looks a little bit elegant. And I think put like a really fit football player in there, a little bit of that tongue twister, Spain tan, good hair. So obviously everything I'm not. Put them in there, and that's gonna look great. So
yeah. It's super clean, and I like the contrast between the home kit.
Yeah.
Because to me, whenever I see some of these really wild shirts like that home shirt, I think that's going to look so cool on a professional athlete.
Yeah.
It's not going to look so cool on a not professional athlete. If you know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
I think the black one, it's clean, it's simple. Like you said, it's borderline like golf polo.
Yeah.
It's got some good colors. I like it a lot.
I agree. I would say 8 out of 10.
I'm going to go 8.5. I think that's well executed.
Fair enough.
Like that.
Fair enough. Then we flip to the FC Bayern shirt. Rekordmeister. And I do not like this shirt at all.
You don't? Okay, I do.
Do not like this shirt. What I think is really cool is that what Adi have done this year is to have that black stroke around their Adidas logo and obviously the sponsor here. I think that is really, really strong. And that telecom thing just reminds me of back, the Tour de France team from back in the cycling team, pro cycling team from back in like the glory days. That's strong, but the rest is like, no, I'm not. It looks cheap to me, the rest of the shirt. I'm not into it.
And I think I understand that. And I think it's not the design as much as it is the brightness of the red this year.
Maybe.
That to me was really eye-catching the first time I saw this on the pitch. Is like, wow, those are some bright red Bayern shirts that we don't normally get. And also now that I'm kind of looking at the pattern, not in motion, it reminds me a little bit of, when you're in school and you're learning how to like write and you have like the letters that are like in these tracer lines. And that's kind of what it reminds me of a little bit. I don't know why I think of all these things, but
I don't
at the end of the day, I still really like it. I'm going to give it a 7.5.
Okay. I'm down to a 4.5.
Oh, wow. Very low.
I don't really don't like it.
Okay.
We have their away shirt, which is white and gold, and very cool. But also a straight up copy of what Madrid had, that white and gold home shirt, some seasons back. So I can't be completely in love with it, but I also can't hate it. It's and it looks good. So 8 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, I'm going to go 7. I'm not as in love with it, but it's nice.
It's one of those shirts I would happily wear, which is why it ends up that high for me. Then we flip another time. We go to Borussia Dortmund and their home shirt, which is, I could have sworn this is what their home shirt looked like a couple of seasons back as well. With that said, it's iconic, like it's supposed to be, and it works. And I like how they've kind of, given that sponsor a little bit of breathing room on the chest. That's nice. 7.5 out of 10. Does the job. Cool beans. Moving on.
I think what's interesting about this shirt is you look at the one that we're looking at has the 1-in-1 logo.
Uh-huh.
But then if you look on either side of the 1-in-1 logo, there's a breakup in the stripes.
Yeah.
And you think, oh, is that part of the design? But then you look at their other shirts and they have the Evonik logo, which would fill exactly in that space. So they've actually designed the shirt around 2 different shirt sponsors that they'll wear depending on what the match is and when in the year it is. That's kind of cool. I dig that. And it actually looks, with the 1-in-1 logo, it just looks like part of the design. I'm curious now, if they put the Evonik logo on there, what it's going to look like when the middle stripes now end early. You know what I'm saying?
I haven't thought of that. That is a very good point.
But it looks like part of the design because if you look at the top part, the 2 middle stripes line up perfectly with the bottom of the Puma logo and the BVB crest. So there's some thought that went into this, but there's also a lot of influence from sponsorship here. It's cool to me. I've always been a big fan of the yellow and black stripes. I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10.
Okay, fair enough. And I'll be keeping an eye on this because that's a very interesting observation. Whether they'll use 2 sponsors over the year, I'm not sure. Away, it's. I can't wait to hear your opinion here because we got some tone and it's a little bit 90s. So I am not, overly fussed with this. It's 6.5 out of 10. Okay, cool. Well, there's a pattern split in half. Nice. Not blowing my mind.
Yeah, I like the retro look. This to me, it does not, it's almost like modern retro and it's not good modern retro. I don't love it.
But I don't think it's bad in particular.
No, it's not bad.
It's just not, I wouldn't say insignificant because it's obviously, it's out there, but it just doesn't strike any, it doesn't ring a bell with me, to be honest.
No, I'm gonna say 6.5. It's not my cup of tea.
Yeah,
but not ugly.
If you flip another time, you actually have your Evonik sponsor on the cup shirt from Dortmund, which I like. I actually like. I like this. I don't know why they've gone full Addy with 3 stripes down each side of the neckline, but I think it is. I think it's very good. I like this whole faded look of the stripes. Very cool little cheeky white stripe in there as well. I think it looks good and it's different, but it works. I'm up to a 7.5 on this one.
It's cool. I like it. It's this. We just talked about retro. I think this is good modern retro.
Yeah.
And I love how the one stripe kind of flows over top of the Puma crest.
Very cool, yeah.
That looks really nice. I'm going to give this one an 8 out of 10.
Solid. Then I don't know why I brought it. I just thought you'd have an opinion on this. That is the Hoffenheim home shirt, which is something that I really don't like now that I'm looking at it. It's one of those shirts where they think, oh, you have a very cool pattern here, and it's a little bit wavy and it's modern, but it just looks. I mean, sorry, Joma, sorry, Hoffenheim, but to me, it just looks like one of those cheap team shirts that you had when you were like. Nah, it's not for me. And again, there's light blue. Where is that light blue accent color coming from on every? I know it's Hoffenheim, cool, they're blue, but nah, it's not working for me.
It seems to be a common trend. The pattern reminds me of something you would see on a water bottle label. But it's not. I don't think it's an ugly shirt.
No,
but. Does it look like they tried very hard? Does this represent something? Is this like a mountain view? Sorry, I don't know much about the area, but is this has to be, is it significant to something? If it is, okay, maybe I can appreciate some of the detail here. But if it's just a random swoopy pattern, then I'm less impressed.
Random swoopy pattern. It looks decent in action, to be fair, but I don't. It could be something to do with the surroundings. Cool, but yeah,
6 for me.
Yeah, did I give it 1?
I don't think so.
5.
Oh,
away shirt has another light blue accent color. So, but that's the reason I brought the Hoffenheim shirts. I thought this was interesting. You know, a little bit of like almost like a scratchy look, like someone had clawed it, and it's this like almost golden color, which I think is cool. Again, not too fussed about the light blue accent color. I think it's a little bit misplaced, but it's not on par with the Bosch shirt. Can we agree on that?
No, it's not. It's definitely not as cool for being kind of a similar shade, but I do like the I was just attacked by Wolverine vibes that it gives off.
Yeah.
And I think the blue is actually okay here in that it kind of ties it into it's not quite the blue of Hoffenheim, but it ties it to the home shirt a little bit, which I think is kind of nice. I like this one. I'm going to give it a 7.5.
Oh, I was going to go 8.5.
Okay.
But the light blue, I decided on 8.5 before, but the light blue takes me down to an 8.
Okay.
Sorry. It is what it is. I don't have an agenda against light blue accents. It's just it's everywhere. So maybe I kind of do. AC Milan home shirt, which is kind of cool. Again, like very, very heavy black on top. Very, very uniform look there. Cool little collar shape, and obviously we have the Italian flag on the sleeves. I think it looks good. I think it's very. It's a focus shirt. Like it's like you zoom in, you get drawn to the stripes. It's not overly busy. I like it quite a lot. So solid 8 for me, without being spectacular.
I like this one in that it does remind me a little bit of, again, kind of like late 90s, early 2000s AC Milan home shirts, in that it's kind of just the patterns, the way that they've incorporated the stripes and blacked out the shoulders and sleeves. It gives it a boxier look. Mm-hmm. Then I think almost all the shirts we've looked at already have this very slim, tight-fitting silhouette to them. Yep. This has the opposite of that, which is kind of cool. But I also can't help but notice that it looks like they took a black shirt and then like dragged a PNG image of some black and red stripes in a rectangle and just slapped it in the middle. Like it's weird to me that they don't go all the way to the bottom and they don't necessarily line up with any line on the top.
Right. Okay.
It's a little strange to me, and I'm not sure that I am in love with the Italian flag detail on the end of the sleeves, which I usually like. So it's almost like the wrong green or something. It's cool though. There's a lot of criticism for something that I'm going to rate an 8 out of 10.
Oh, I totally didn't see that.
I like it.
Yeah. Good shirt. The away shirt, however, is I'm not too sold on it, to be honest. I think it's And again, it just looks like something I could have sworn we've seen a million times from AC Milan. You could show the Slabanati logo on this, and I could have again swear I've seen it before. It's not a bad looking shirt, but for me, it's just not outstanding either. I do appreciate what they've tried to do by flipping the normal vertical stripes and make them horizontal. Cool, but it doesn't stand out to me. It doesn't have the cleanliness of a very minimalistic shirt, and is not busy enough, or there's not intricate detail enough to make it really busy in a cool way. So it's just kind of stuck in between.
I really like a lot about this design. I think the stripes going all the way down the abdominal region is just weird. I think had they kept just the stripe above the sponsor and below the crests, that would have looked really nice if you went for that simple look. But now I kind of look at this shirt and think, oh, it's going to be like, I would love to get, you have access to this stuff more than me. Jay, if you ever go to the AC Milan stadium, you need to bring one of these shirts and have the players sign them on each individual line. So you'll just have to get signatures, like 5 or 6 of them.
But this again could be like, practicing writing and stuff. Like,
I don't know what's up with that. It's not ugly.
Nah.
But yeah, I think there's too many stripes. Either, right? I'm gonna give it a 7.
Oh,
okay.
I'll say 6. But yeah, we flip once again A as Roma, and when I saw it for the first time, I was like, ah. But then I looked at it again, and I actually like all the little detail. You actually have a 50-50 split in the middle of the shirt. That's cool. I like the little very short collar. I like the little button, and I like the pattern on the front. It's very classy, and I do also enjoy the relatively big sleeve cuffs. I think that's cool. Mm-hmm. Usually I'm not about that, but because of the fit of that shirt, it seems pretty slim fit. I think it does something good to tie off that sleeve. I like this a lot, to be honest. I will give it now I'll wait for your rating. And then so we give it at the same time.
Yeah, you know what? If I just saw this shirt in this photo, I wouldn't rate it very highly, but I've seen this one in person and the detail is actually quite nice. Mm-hmm. And there's something about the tone-on-tone red on a Roma shirt that I think just works really nicely. New Balance did a pretty good job with this. 8 out of 10.
I agree. 8 out of 10. Their away shirt is white with the classic Roma colors on the collar and a white and burgundy logo, which is cool. But I mean, yeah, nice. 7 out of 10 doesn't offend me, but
it's really clean.
It is.
We're rating shirts based on unique designs, and I don't think this is super unique. So for that reason, it's a 7 out of 10. But this is a shirt that, as a player, like if I saw that this is going to be our away shirt, I'd be like, okay, that's sick. I'm very happy to wear that, But as a fan, if it's like you're buying a shirt to have something kind of unique, it's borderline a white t-shirt, right?
But I would say that a 7 is a solid rating. It's not a bad looking shirt. I just don't think it's phenomenal either. Mm-hmm. We move on to Atalanta. Lots of Italian shirts here at the moment. We have this Joma shirt with a very, very clean look. I realize they might slap a sponsor on it, which will obviously ruin it a little bit. But I like how they moved the logo to the middle of the shirt. Looks very classy.
Yeah.
Not a big fan of the color, to be honest. But the collar, not the colors. But 7 out of 10 for the.
Yeah, the collar looks crazy uncomfortable.
Yeah, it does.
Depending on what material it's made out of, but yeah, the simplicity of the Joma logo and then moving the club crest to the middle. The blockiness of the stripes and even having them on the sleeves, it's the right amount of old school for me. I'm going to give this one a 7 out of 10.
Okay. The away shirt is pretty clean. Again, feel we've seen this before, but I think it's nice that the running lady over there is actually, I think it was on their logo in the 1960s, from 1963 to 1970 or something. So that's pretty cool. For that reason alone, I'm going to give it a 7.5. I think that's always a nice throwback. and it has that thing that the Roma, the white Roma away shirt doesn't have. I think it just adds a little bit more than just being a white shirt. Adds a few blocking elements on the shoulders, which is nice. I like that a lot.
Yeah, this is a very classy shirt, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I really like it. 8 out of 10.
7.5. Hellas Verona. We're not. I didn't bring them in for the home shirt. I think the home shirt is a little bit. I realized there's a nice, cross in the middle, tone and tone. Cool. It has the logo in it, but not a big fan of the colors. That's a 5.5 out of 10 for me.
I don't think it's bad.
Okay.
I like it actually. I'm gonna go 7.
Fair enough. The away shirt, however, I really like that. Again, it's not gold. It's this almost like shy yellow, whatever you call that. Really nice button-down collar there. Cool cut on the sleeves.
Yeah, really cool.
I like that a lot. I'm an 8, maybe even an 8.5 for this. I think.
I dig this a lot. This to me is a 9 out of 10. I just think it's so good looking. Was it last year Arsenal had a shirt in kind of a similar color and design?
True.
Yeah, I really like that one. This looks arguably even better than that. This is sweet.
I'm with
you.
It's a great looking shirt. Inter Milan home, which is a bit of a return to the more, should we say, sane looking Inter shirts with the traditional stripes. And, obviously for me, I've really loved their more experimental shirts, especially the two with the zigzag and just the zigzag stripes in the middle. Love those. But you can't deny that it looks good. They've got a nice little black trim on the lower part of the shoulder, top part of the chest. Cool. Stripes are there like they're supposed to. Digital bits. Don't hate that sponsor. New Inter logo looks great. 8.5 out of 10.
Yeah, I think the one thing I would say about this is I don't love the stripes continuing onto the upper part of the shirt. I think had it been like solid black or solid blue, it maybe would have looked a little bit better. But it's nice. I'm going to give it a 7.
Right. Then, Josh, flip all the way to the end. Because I think this shirt just released today. It's Thursday when we're recording the video. Inter Milan away.
Oh, wow. It's the world.
That is the world because they are Internazionale. Hey. Hey. And I mean, when you see this from afar, I probably wouldn't rate it that highly. I think it's okay. It's got some aquarelle colors on. Is like, okay, cool. But it's the world, man. It's the flipping world. And I think the detailing on this is cool. It's got that map graphics. And I think it just does something. And it does it really well. I think it's a cool shirt, very unique. Lines ties up well with the club's name and story. 8.5.
I really dig this one. It's got a training shirt vibe to it. There's no doubt about that. However, I like it. The color reminds me a little bit of like soap. Just generic soap, whether it's shampoo or like a bar of it.
Okay.
But it works and it's cool. Like I can't think of another shirt that looks like that.
Exactly.
So like that, there's bonus points for that. This is a 9 for me. I like this a lot.
Yeah. I'll take that definitely. We go back to Juventus home, and I reckon this is the easiest 10 you'll give out.
10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Like, come on.
And on top of, just the obvious, not too pure. I think it's it's a good looking shirt. It's a cool pattern, and it looks cool. It's bold. It's out there, and it works. I don't know about the thunder, the lightning in the Jeep logo. Could have toned that down, but the rest, I'm a fan. And
yeah, I mean, look.
Just for
what do you rate that realistically?
Just realistically, that is a with the Jeep thing, like a 7.5.
Okay, I think you're being generous, to be honest.
Oh,
look, other than the fact that it's obviously eerily similar to the pattern found on Pure Grip socks, which triangles connecting to each other is not a unique pattern.
No,
let's be honest, people. Like, there's this has been done before Pure Grip socks. It's been done before the Juve home shirt. It's just funny that it looks so similar. I don't think it looks good. I don't. I just, it looks weird. And then the lightning in the Jeep logo. It's what is going on? This is just, I'm so confused by this shirt.
Yeah, I understand.
It's a mess.
I actually think the stripes work because they're just, if you take away the Jeep logo, I think the Jeep logo is what messes it up for me. It's just, there's just so much going on, The stripes in themselves that's a lot. That is a lot. But I think it's a nice way of trying to shake things up. And I reckon it works. But that Jeep logo, I can't. What are you, 5?
I don't get the logo.
Oh man,
that had to be like, I really want to know, was that Adidas is like, hey Jeep, we know you're paying for this shirt sponsor on the front. We think it'd look sweet if it had some lightning right in the middle of it. Or if Jeep was like, hey Adidas, we've got this idea. We got this new Jeep coming out and we're going to have this commercial. There's going to be lightning. It's going to be great. We want to tie it into the shirt. And he's like, we already did Pure Grip sock triangles. Like, it's going to be a lot, but like, this is like, okay, grade 3 class. Here's the Juve home shirt. We need you to design something that looks cool. And they just figured out how to use a computer. It's a 4 out of 10. It's awful. It's awful. It's not good. Come on.
I'll give it a 10 out of 10 just for you. And we'll leave it at that. And it's so tacky. Freaking lightning on the Jeep sponsor. That's an instant 10 out of 10. It's so stupid that it
lightning's so funny.
Juve away. Actually a pretty cool looking shirt that has lighting on it. So it's a 10 out of 10.
It's a great looking shirt. I actually, this is a pattern I don't normally like, but I think it looks good here. But the lightning is so out of place. It's ridiculous.
10 out of 10.
It's ridiculous looking. The shirt's cool. It's an 8 out of 10 shirt, but the lightning is just stupid.
Yeah. Then as we move up, we get up, I mixed up the file names here a bit, but we move up to Ajax home.
Okay.
Which is the most Ajax shirt you'll ever see in your life. And honestly, I couldn't tell you what's different from last year's Ajax shirt.
Which I think word for word is what you said last year.
Yeah.
So it's a 6.5 out of 10.
6.5 out of 10. If we go to the away shirt though, it's not exactly the Bob Marley shirt from a couple of years ago. Was it that last year? Seems like a while ago.
It might have been last year.
Yeah.
I can't remember now.
Yeah. But I think this is really cool.
This is cool.
I think it's really,
I like this
really
a
cool.
lot.
And, I think it's so cool that, again, navy gold, it always goes well together. But the inclusion of red, I didn't see that coming. And the pattern on the cuffs and the collar and, I am a big fan. I could rock this. And, obviously now I like Ajax because Erik ten Hag, and thank you very much. Mm-hmm. But
you have no choice.
No choice. It's the way it goes. And frankly, I'd rather Ajax right now than Man United because... that's not true. But this is a great looking shirt. 9.5 out of 10. Simplicity at its best.
Yeah, I'm with you on the 9. It's simple with the right amount of detail. I think that what they did on the collar and the cuffs looks great. The stripes on the shoulders look good. The gold sponsor looks great. The tie-in of the red and the stars of the Ajax logo is such a cool little detail. It's nice. 9 out of 10.
I agree. And a half. FC Porto away. I didn't take the home shirt because it's white and blue like you would expect. But this one I thought was actually quite cool. Again, that very interesting, warm, bright yellow with these is it palms? Is it like what is it? I don't know, but it's cool.
I have to look it up. Is it like the cartoon Wolverine? I don't know why everything looks like Wolverine to me today.
It could also be like when you order sushi and you get that little fake grass whatever on the side.
Oh, yes, I know what you're talking
for
about.
decorative purposes. Could be
Yes.
that. But I like this one. And I think, having that pattern there, it works. Again, that shade of yellow and blue, it just works really well together. I think this is an 8.5 out of 10.
I think there's too many colors, to be honest with you. I think that you have 3 shades of yellow because whatever's happening on the ends of the sleeves just looks weird to me. And then the navy blue for the collar and the logos minus the crest. The crest being a slightly different shade of blue, it messes with my eyes in a way that I don't care for. It's okay. It's a 6 for me. I don't love it.
Fair enough. And finally, we have for this batch, before we end this one, obviously we'll have more shirts in the next episode, but we have Fenerbahce. And we have the home shirt first, which is what you'd expect a Fenerbahce shirt to look like. But I think it looks cool. I would say it's like a solid 7.5 out of 10. It doesn't blow my mind, but it's also not bad. And I would, it's one of those shirts that I would think they're cool to wear.
Yeah, I'm going to go with an 8 on this. It's so in your face.
Okay. Then
but
I'm
in a good
very
way.
interested in hearing what you think of the away shirt, which looks a lot like the Porto shirt, but it has feathers on it.
Oh, they're feathers. Wow. I immediately went to bananas. It looks like, to me, that looks like you took a banana, you dipped it in yellow paint, and then you dabbed it on the shirt in several spots.
A very cool story. Someone should totally do that. Should totally do that, yeah. But what do we reckon? I mean, like 8 or 8.5. I think it's cool.
You know what? It's super weird, but it's kind of cool in a weird way.
Yeah, that's exactly the thing. It's so weird.
I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna go 8. Okay. I don't really know what to think, but right now I'm thinking 8.
It's not the Juve home shirt, so I mean, it's
Yeah.
8. I think 8 sounds fair. 8.5. Cool. You decide whether that's an 8 or an 8.5. But Josh, I think with respect for time and not going too much overboard, we'll save the rest of the alphabet for next episode. We'll also save the questions because we got some good questions, but we'll save those for later. We'll maybe even just do a Q&A round of
we might do that
of the Bootnerds podcast. So if you got any good questions, let them flow. Write them in the comment section right down below, of course. Remember to subscribe to the Bootnerds podcast if you haven't done so already. Join the family. Go subscribe to Josh's channel. Go subscribe to Unisport by clicking the bubbles next to our faces. And of course, if you had a good time, leave us a like on the video. We'll massively appreciate that. Let us know what you think about our ratings as well in the comments if we completely lost it again this year. And with those words, I've been JayMike. And once again, I approve this message. See you later.
Thanks for watching and listening.